Have you heard of Chainsaw Man? Wait, no, not Jigsaw Man. Have you heard of Chainsaw? No, not that. Chainsaw Man, the fucking anime that's coming out. Thank you. So Chainsaw Man, a lot of people have been hyping up this anime. So what's the hype all about? Let's go ahead and talk about how pretty the announcement trailer looks. Because Confucius once said, beauty awakens the soul to act, so let's go ahead and talk about that. And that's damn true for this anime. Look at those pretty eyes, damn. The animation is by MAPPA Studios, which is the same animation studio who did Attack on Titan and Jujutsu Kaisen, which have pretty good animations most of the time. Sometimes they miss the mark a little bit, generally speaking, they're pretty good. The CGI used in big action scenes looks smooth, dynamic, and allows the audience to witness crazy fight scenes straight out of their favorite manga. And after watching the first announcement trailer, it just looks beautiful. I mean, just look at it. It's clean, it's smooth, the colors are bright and vibrant. It looks like a movie, to be honest. And I think the aesthetics alone is one of the big reasons for the hype for this new up-and-coming show. We also got to witness one of the most ridiculous and honestly hilarious intro songs I've seen for an anime in a long time. Just check this out.
Chainsaw, 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 chainsaw.
I find it super comical that these opera singers have probably been practicing their entire lives for a gig like this, and they're going to be most known for saying 2 words, and that is chainsaw. Jesus Christ. So yes, the trailer and the music video has a big part for inspiring the hype. But nothing would be here without the manga. Chainsaw Man was the 5th best-selling manga series in the first half of 2021, and sold over 4 million copies. So for a new manga, that's pretty damn good. That's some good shit right there. Best way I can describe Chainsaw Man is goofy, kinky, dark, and kind of weird and bizarre. It's a very, very different manga. A lot of people compare Chainsaw Man to Jujutsu Kaisen because the world building and the magic system are very similar. Both worlds are technically set in modern day, where there's these organizations that are built just to fight these weird astral entities like demons, devils, and spirits. But after that, that's basically where most of the similarities end. Jujutsu Kaisen tends to fall into some of these very basic shonen cliches, whereas Chainsaw Man's main goal is to take those well-known anime cliches and then flip them on their head. The main character, Denji, in Chainsaw Man is basically a cliche slayer. He takes away all the cliches that you normally see in a main shonen protagonist. Because he has never known an easy life, he either takes the worst news with a laugh, or he doesn't understand the severity of the situation that he's in. And that's why he's one of the funniest protagonists ever. A good example of this is Denji will be told news like, hey, by the way, a bunch of your friends have died. And he's like, oh, those guys? They weren't my friends. They were kind of assholes, to be honest with you. I didn't care if they died. Like, stuff like that you never hear from a shonen protagonist ever. The other thing is that Denji has never been socialized into society, so he knows nothing about social cues whatsoever. He also has no filter and will straight up tell you the truth even if it's super duper awkward, making a lot of very serious situations in this dark fantasy quite comical, which actually makes this series great for people who love dark humor, which is, by the way, what I like. I love dark humor. It's one of my favorite types of humor. Now, off the top of my head, I can't think of another manga that specializes in dark humor, which makes Chainsaw Man very unique in that regard. A couple other cliches that he breaks. For example, Denji isn't dumb like Luffy or goal-driven like Naruto. He doesn't even have a great sense of morality or justice like Deku. He's actually one of the more relatable shonen protagonists just because of his simplicity. He just wants to live a better life, he wants to have 3 meals a day, and he wants to go ahead and date a girl and maybe grab a boob every once in a while, which are pretty achievable goals, I might add. Don't mistake Denji's simplicity and comical nature for being too shallow, because actually, in fact, he's a very deep character, but that's a discussion for another video. If you guys want me to do a video on Denji and how he's actually a deep character and what he's about, go ahead and drop a like. If I get 10 likes, I'll go ahead and do a video on that. But anyways, back to the video. Another big drawing point is the fact that this particular manga would probably be better as an anime.
Boo! Boo! Rubbish! Filth! Slime! Muck!
Alright, okay. Manga purists, let me explain before you crucify me, okay?
Degenerates like you belong on a cross.
In Chainsaw Man, the main character's weapons of choice is obviously chainsaws. There's two particular things that chainsaws do differently than other weapons like swords, blunt weapons, or a fist fight. And the first thing is obviously one of the scariest factors of a chainsaw, and that it's loud noise. Chainsaw Man is a dark fantasy, which means there's going to be horror elements to it. And the fear factor of a chainsaw is a lot weaker when there's no audio. So when you're reading the manga, you see these chainsaws and there's no audio. Not very scary, to be honest. You have to kind of imagine it in your head. Like, watch this scene in Texas Chainsaw Massacre without the chainsaw audio. Not very scary, is it? I mean, audio is so important for horror in general. That's why a lot of bad horror films will overcompensate with audio that makes pretty much no sense in the current situation, like for example The Visit. Or they'll just go ahead and throw an ear-piercing loud noise right after a supposed scare.
Jesus. Are you alright?
I just think audio in general is going to make Denji just seem a little bit more powerful with the noise of the chainsaws. Plus, the horror aspect of the show is just going to be a lot better with audio. The second thing the animation will actually help out with is the mechanical cutting motion of a chainsaw. Now, this isn't Shadiversary where we're going to go ahead and break down how weapons are used and the science behind them and shit like that.
It might be a little bit hollow on the inside. Do you think this is hollow, Oz? I can put it in your ear. Put it in your ear. Like, hold it loosely. Hold it loosely. Does that sound hollow?
That's solid.
You reckon it's solid? Let's near the
Why
mic.
would they make it hollow?
If it's solid, it's a solid bit of metal.
Just take this as a perspective from a manga/comic reader, okay? Anything that swings and hits with a great deal of force can easily be translated into manga or comic format. Take this scene from Berserk. Guts notices a dude, he lifts his sword up in the air, there's that moment of silence, and then boom, smashes the dude. All you really need to see is the swing and then the hit. You can showcase that in 2 panels. But a chainsaw isn't about being struck with a great deal of kinetic energy all at once. A chainsaw is more brutal because it's about holding constant pressure as the chains slowly cut into something, which is harder to showcase in manga format. That's why a lot of panels in Chainsaw Man, it kind of seems like his chainsaws are more like a sword than an actual chainsaw. Which is fine, but I'd like to see the more brutal nature of a chainsaw, where something's slowly getting chopped into, and you see blood and guts and shit flying everywhere. I think that would make his chainsaws seem a little bit more brutal and horrific, and more dark fantasy-like. So, I mean, it kind of works with the tone of the story anyways. I'm not going to elaborate on this next point too much because it's pretty self-explanatory, but there's colors in the anime and not the manga, so a lot of bright and vibrant personalities and characters will get a little bit more distinguished with color. As well as the fact that brutal fight scenes will just look more graphic due to the bright color of blood. But yeah, I think that's the main reason for the hype, you guys. I think just generally speaking, animation is just a better format for Chainsaw Man due to the fact that there's a lot of bright and colorful characters. The world around them is bright and colorful, which it's black and white in the manga, but in the animations, there's going to be lots of color to pop out that. And the fight scenes with blood and gore. Audio is going to be a big factor due to the scary nature of chainsaws and how they sound when they're ripping and tearing into shit. So I think that's going to make Chainsaw Man just feel more visceral and violent in general. The other thing is that Chainsaw Man also has a lot of comedy involved in it. And I think comedy with audio, you're not reading a joke or whatever, audio and timing will also make a lot of the writing in Chainsaw Man pop as well and make things a little funnier when you first hear it, So I think just generally speaking, that is one of the big reasons that Chainsaw Man is hyped so much. I think it was a great manga, and I think putting motion, sound, and color into it is just going to further enhance it. Because when I first read Chainsaw Man, I was thinking, damn, this would be even better for an anime, through animation. But that's my video, guys. Go ahead and leave a like down below. Try to get 10 likes, and I'll make a video on Denji. If you guys have any comments, if you guys say, oh, I don't agree with that, I think the manga, and I'm a manga purist, and I think that's just manga's the way to go, and that is the way towards the light, go ahead and leave that down below. Or if you think you agree with me and you want to stroke my ego, please leave that down below in the comment section. Thank you guys so much for watching, and see ya! Hey, you made it to the end! That means you must enjoy my content, so go ahead and tap that subscribe button for me. And if you don't like my content, subscribe anyways. My videos are proven to make your schlong longer. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram for discussions and movie topics. And thank you so much for the support. You guys are awesome. See ya.